Hello students, welcome to our channel. I am Krishnamurthy, chemistry faculty. Today we shall discuss some of the key points and some MCQs about biomolecules. So let us have a look at these points. Okay, see, biomolecules. What are biomolecules? Remember, biomolecules are going to be very useful in our biological activity. Say for example, carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, amino acids, enzymes, so many. Then, first we shall discuss about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, they are also called as sugars or saccharides. They are optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones are the compounds which produce such on hydrolysis. Most of them are general formula CXH2O times. I'm just zooming in. See, and they are called as hydrates of carbon. Previous definition. Okay, classification we can do based upon reducing nature, reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. Reducing sugars are those which reduces swelling solution and also tolerance reagent. Non-reducing sugars, they do not reduces swellings or tolerance reagent because of the absence of free aldehydic or ketonic group. On the basis of their behavior on hydrolysis, the carbohydrates can also be classified into mono, oligo, and polysaccharide. Monosaccharides, which gives two to that means only one only one unit upon dissolution. Okay, that means they cannot be further hydrolyzed. Whereas oligosaccharides upon hydrolysis, they yield 2 to 10 monosaccharide. Polysaccharides yield maximum number. That means 100 to 3000 monomer units. Monosaccharides are those which have only one unit. That means the first example we are having glucose, which has six carbon atoms and an aldehyde group. Laboratory preparation there is one. Sucrose, which upon acid hydrolysis gives glucose and fructose. And a commercial method, starch or cellulose if you are taking and hydrolyzing in the presence of an acid, it gives glucose. Structure, glucose was assigned open chain structure on the basis of the following evidences. Remember, glucose upon treatment with hydrogen iodide. Remember, hydrogen iodide, Hi, which is going to react with, okay, one second, which is reacting with the glucose to form N-hexane. It is evident from this reaction that all the carbon chains are there in a straight chain manner. All the carbon atoms there in straight chain manner. If you are just reacting with hydroxylamine, it is going to give glucose oxide. It is confirmed that presence of carbonyl group. That means there must be a carbonyl group. And when you are reacting with hydrogen cyanide, it is going to give glucose cyanohydrine. Means again it confirms that there is a carbonyl group. Remember, these two are the test to know that it is going to contain what it is having carbonyl group. When you are just doing bromine water test, that means it's a good oxidizing agent. Remember, this CHO, right, which is getting oxidized into COOH, that is called gluconic acid, means it is having a aldehydic functional group. When we are treating with acetic anhydride, right? So remember, usually hydroxyl groups, that means there are four hydroxyl groups are there and one more at the terminal position. That means there are five OH groups are there. No, it consumes five acetic anhydrides. That means it is confirmed that there are five OH groups. And lastly, it reacts with HNO3, concentrated HNO3, purple oxidizing agent. It is going to oxidize both the terminal. Usually, aldehyde is converted into carboxylic acid, and primary alcohol is also converting into carboxylic acid. That means glucaric acid or saccharic acid. So, these are all the tests to know about the structure of glucose. Based upon this one, the open chain structure was assigned. Remember, open chain structure which is going to have, right, this type. Usually, that means which is having, correct, which is having a open chain structure containing a terminal CHO group, and at last it is having one CH2OH group, and middle all the carbons are containing OH groups only. Fructose Of course, fructose, which is having the structure like this, which is having CO group, that means carbonyl group in the second position. Okay, we'll know about that one later. Then it can also be existing in the form of cyclic form. So there are two forms are there. One is going to be present in this way and Haworth structure also. Remember, these two rings are going to be called as glycosidic linkages. You should know this one, correct? These are called as, not this one. This is going to be called as what? Hemiacetal ring. Hemiacetal ring. Hemiacetal ring. These are the Haworth structure. Very simple. Whatever the structures and whatever the groups are there in this one, which are there in the right side, which should be coming at the bottom. So carbon 1, 2, 3. Here the ring starts with the carbon 2 only. Why? Because of the carbonyl carbon. Ring closure reaction, already you know that one. So we are not discussing much about that. Okay, right. So next up, we are going with this one. Muta rotation. Usually, optical activity of this alpha D glucose. See, the change in specific rotation of an optically active compound with the time to an equilibrium value is called as muta rotation. Usually, alpha D glucose was having a 112 plus 112 degrees in equilibrium mixture plus 52 point degrees. Then it is going to convert to beta D glucose. It is going to have plus 19 degrees. Okay, then we come to disaccharides, means there are two monomeric units which are joined by the condensation process. Okay, the first one is going to be sucrose which is having 1 comma 2 glycosidic linkages between alpha D glucose and beta D fructose. And in maltose there are two alpha D glucosidates which are going to be combining with by using 1 and 4, that means 1 comma 4 glycosidic linkages. Whereas in lactose, there is a beta D galactose and a beta D glucose are there. They are also combining by using a C1 and C4. In polysaccharide, we are observing starch, amylose, starch. Okay, in starch there are two parts. What two components are there? Amylose and amylopectin. Got it? And cellulose is there, glycogen is there. Glycogen is also called as animal starch. Okay. When we come to proteins, amino acids are the basics, correct? Basis of this one proteins. Amino acids contains one amino group and carboxyl group. Based upon the number of amino group and number of COH groups, we are classifying amino acids into three types: neutral amino acids, basic amino acids, and acidic amino acids. The examples are there. Neutral, that is glycine, alanine, and valine. Correct? Acidic, aspartic acid, asparginine, glutamic acid. Basic amino acids, lysine, arginine, histidine. On the basis of their synthesis, essential and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are those which are not going to be synthesized. They cannot be synthesized in the body and must be obtained through the diet. Non-essential amino acids are those which can be synthesized in our body. Okay, so let us have a look at some of the MCQs of this one. After that, we shall see that. Okay, right. Then, one second. Okay, I think it's stuck. Okay, see the first one. The general formula of carbohydrate is, which one is the general formula? Cn H2O n times. Already you know that one, right? Very good. Option C. Which of the following compound is found abundantly in nature? Which one? ಯಾವುದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನೇಚರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Fructose, starch, glucose, cellulose. Cellulose, because it is present in plants. Plants are excess in nature. Correct na? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ cellulose. Cellulose is a ಏನ್ cellulose ಅನ್ನೋದು? Cellulose ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಂತೆ? It is a polysaccharide, monosaccharide, disaccharide, correct? Hmm? None of this. It is going to be having polysaccharides and just polysaccharides. Remember hexa, penta, tri ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? Hexa means 6 units ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರೋದು. Penta means there are 5 units. of monosaccharide. Tri means that means 3. ಆದರೆ this is going to contain have a more number, maximum number of monomeric units ಇರುತ್ತೆ, right? 1, 4 glycosidic linkages ಇರುತ್ತೆ beta. Then, therefore, none of this. Which of the following is non-reducing sugar? Reducing sugar ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, non-reducing sugar ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Can you tell me that one? Sucrose. Correct? Because it is not having free aldehydic or ketonic group. Which of the following is an example of an aldopentose? That means a pentose sugar which is having aldehydic functional group. ಯಾವ್ದಿರ್ಬೋದು? Usually ribose sugar which is having 5 carbon atoms. Okay, you should know that one. Next, sixth one, you see, match the sugars in column 1 with their types given in column 2 and mark the appropriate choices. Glucose is a aldohexose, correct? A2. Can you just guess the answer? See, in this one only, A2. Only A2 is there. Which one? So option D. Very good. So in that way, you should go through that because in competitive exams, you don't have much time. Okay, correct. Which of the following treatment will convert starch directly into glucose? This is the concept based one. Concept based, right? See, starch is converted into glucose by heating with dilute sulfuric acid. That means acid hydrolysis. Correct? Then next, eighth one. Glucose, which is reacting with HCl to gives rise to X. Upon hydrolysis gives rise to Y. Upon treatment with HI gives rise to Z. Tell me which one is the answer. See, glucose upon treatment with HCl, it is going to having cyanohydrin, a 7-membered compound. After hydrolysis, it is going to form the respective this one cyanohydrin, right? So it is going to form carboxylic acid. Then upon treatment with HI, it is going to form a saturated compound. That means it should be, option D should be what? Pentanoic acid. Pentanoic acid. Correct. Option D is the answer. Ninth one. On oxidation with mild oxidizing agent like bromine water, the glucose is oxidized to. Already you know that it is nothing but gluconic acid. Gluconic acid structure also you know, right? Next, during acetylation of glucose, it needs X moles of acetic anhydride. I already told it consumes how many moles of acetic anhydride? Penta. That means 5. That's why it is going to give penta-acetyl derivative. As a result, we are taking it into 5. Got it? Yes. So with this one, I'm just finishing this class. In the next class, we shall meet. Thank you. Have a nice day.